All right, well, Pranoy, we do have Mr. Arvind Panagariya actually, who's joining us on an OB. Mr. Keki Mistry is also with us. Mr. Panagariya, first across to you, sir. We saw a thrust of some of this in the economic survey. What is your take on the basic message that we seem to have got from this budget? What seems to have been the basic underlying principle?
I sort of see this as a well-rounded budget. So it covers all the areas and makes changes in virtually all areas of the economy. But let me go over a few things that would sort of give you some sense of how I see the budget. First of all, I think, not much has been made of this, but we see finally the end to the plan and non-plan distinction. So I think hidden within that is an important change that is likely to happen in the years to come. Fiscal consolidation, there had been a lot of debate on this, what the finance minister was going to do. At the end of the day, he has stuck to the 3.5% fiscal deficit target. So I certainly very much welcome that because I had wished for it also. The big, I think, area, as your commentators have been saying, on which really the budget has laid greatest emphasis is the rural areas, so irrigation, rural development. I think this is where lots of action is. I have, as an economist, traditionally felt that if you give people electricity and roads, much of the rest of it they can figure out. And I think on both of those fronts, the budget goes in a big way. Electrification, rural electrification, has continued to receive its high priority that it should. On roads, a huge jump in the expenditure on the PMGSY, the Gram Sadak Yojana. So we got, we'll see some action there, enhanced, accelerated. Another important one, I think, which has perhaps not received enough attention is that the finance minister has opened the agricultural sector, in terms of marketing, to the foreign direct investment. So, this is an important progress actually, because in terms of creating this supply chain from the farm to the market, it has been kind of felt that, this goes back to the original reform of the UP on opening the FDI to the retails, foreign retailers. And while this doesn't go all the way, at least, in terms of the agricultural side, the sector has been opened up
can I just interrupt you there?
100% to the foreign direct investment.
I wanted to ask you a question on the agricultural side. A major point that the economic survey mentioned was that there's overemphasis on cereals, which are input intensive, and we have buffer stocks of way too high, sometimes crossing 100 million tons, and we should move our cropping pattern more towards pulses. Now, there was a talk a bit about pulses, that there will be a minimum support price, there will be buffer stock in pulses, because that is a crop that prices go shooting up. It's a major area for protein intake for the rural area. But do you think it went far enough in pushing pulses over cereals, which the economic survey really did root for?
I think, this is, within the government, this is now a very well recognized problem. Niti Aayog, and we have a member agriculture, Professor Ramesh Chand, who has been actually involved in working on this. So there is a great recognition. And remember, there is also, it introduces actually the procurement in pulses.
Yes,
and that had been one of the stumbling blocks for pulse. If the farmers are, that is a well-established finding that if farmers are assured of a good price, generally they go for the crop. So that is going on. Then there is a price stabilization fund also in pulses. So I think the efforts are very much underway, and the government certainly internally is quite vigilant on that.
So that will be a big thrust. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for joining us